and welcome to our week 6 of our Sovereign Healthcare Plan. I am making this video tonight or today because today is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And I have some plans tonight, so I didn't want to get off our schedule of our Thursday night. So it won't be live, but I'm going to make this video, post it on to our wellness group so it can house there, because I think there's some vital information in here that everybody can use, and it'll be housed in the coaching program. So week 6, I think it's week 6. Week 6 was what to do. What do you do if you get sick, right? So the most important thing is, if you're sick already, if you have high blood pressure, if you have any kind of diagnosis with your health, any kind of illness that you're already fighting, that takes precedence first and foremost, because it's a lot easier to correct your system with holistic remedies when you start to feel sick. If your system is already in a state of homeostasis, it's already balanced, it's already working correctly. So the number one goal is to get whatever illness, disease, process, inflammation, pain that you're working with now, get that under control first. That is your number one target. Once you get into a state of homeostasis where you know your body, you're not living in pain, you're not living on any kind of medication, everything seems to be going according to plan and your systems are operating perfectly, then these remedies work a lot faster, and it's a lot easier for you to turn around when you start feeling sick. So let's go over some of the things common things when we start feeling sick. So let's say, for instance, sore throats. What do you do when you get a sore throat? First thing I do when I get a sore throat is I spray silver, colloidal silver, about 5 squirts in my mouth. And I will probably do that every couple of hours until the soreness starts coming down. So it's not take 3 times a day. It's like do until it starts to fix it, right? So I'll do about 5 squirts of this until, over maybe 2 or 3 hours, and until the symptoms start to come down. I also, for a sore throat, I'll use this. What this is fermented garlic in honey. So see, it gets pretty runny. The honey gets pretty runny. But all it is a little jar. It's Greenwise, organic, unfiltered, raw honey. So it retains its natural pollen and enzymes. That's important when you're picking out honey. And then organic garlic. And I just open up the cloves, put them in here, top it with garlic. Make sure you have a cap that you can seal it. I like this because it's a glass cap. It's not a metal cap. Because when you take the honey out of here, you either need to use plastic or wooden something, because if you put metal in here, it messes up the electrical charge of the honey. So again, you can eat one of these garlic cloves. The temperature of the garlic comes down when it's resting in the honey, but it's high antibacterial. You can even put this topical. Say you get a scratch or something and it looks a little irritated and red, put that on it. It's like an antibiotic. You can also spray the silver if you get a cut on there. Or a rash. This is great. So this sits on my counter. I constantly have this available. I usually use it. I probably use it once a week just for like maintenance. But if I am getting a sore throat, then I'll use it every 2 or 3 hours, just like this, until the symptoms go away. And it usually goes away within a 12-hour period of time. So that's for a sore throat. Congestion. So if your nose gets congested, you start getting that inflammation. It's causing mucus. It's causing a stuffed up nose. Usually I will start with this first, and I will sometimes even get a cotton ball, soak a cotton ball, put the silver around my nose and sniff it up so I can get the silver through into my nasal passages, because it's antibacterial, antiviral. And if the congestion is really bad and I need to unclog it, I'll use this, which is a neti pod. It comes with these saline solutions. You fill it with warm water, you stick it up, you kind of rinse. It's like a nasal rinse. And sometimes I've even put some sulfur in there. Sulfur is a huge anti-inflammatory. You can take it internally, or I put it in this mixture with the saline, and it just takes the inflammation down faster in my nasal passages so I can breathe again. Also, I use peppermint oil, so you can put the peppermint oil on your hands, inhale it, breathe it in. This opens up your lungs, this opens up your nasal passages so you can breathe again. So I don't go anywhere. Like, I have OCD. If I go out of my house and I don't have the peppermint, I have to have this. This is such a nifty little thing. Ordered off of Amazon. It's like $7 or something. Organic. This is Cleganic, I guess it's called, peppermint oil. Organic. So this goes with me at all times. There's also a flu fighting tea that I make for myself. If I have fever, body aches, like I can feel it's not just affecting this, but it's kind of starting to affect my whole body, then I'll make the flu fighting tea, which I will post that. That is ginger, turmeric, cayenne pepper, honey, lemon, cloves, and you make a tea. You boil it and then you drain it off and you drink that tea. Cinnamon, but you drink that tea, and I usually drink that tea twice a day. Like if I'm at the point where I'm having to cancel stuff and stay in and I'm just feeling really run down, that's when that tea comes into play. And it's usually like maybe a day and a half of drinking that tea in the morning and night, and that can reduce the inflammation really fast, and I can start feeling better again. I learned a really interesting thing this week about cayenne pepper, that it can stop heart attacks. There was a video that I watched that was very interesting, that they had a little tincture of cayenne pepper in a liquid form, and the lady was saying to, use it and take it with you wherever you go, because it can stop a heart attack. Like if someone's in the middle of having a heart attack, to administer that to them, and it's supposed to thin out your blood very quickly and stop the heart attack. So I thought that was cool. Also, the peppermint oil, hives or insect bites, something on your skin. If you get a hive, I've used this on my daughter. If she's very sensitive to a lot of things. She has a lot of skin issues. So one time we were somewhere, I think we were on the beach, and she started to scratch and get the hive breakout that she gets, and we put the peppermint oil on it, and it cooled it down and took it off right away. So I've even used it for like ant bites or mosquito bites. If they're bothering, you just put it on it. It cuts the inflammation and cuts the that inflammatory response that's making you itch. Stomach, for stomach issues. If you have stomach issues, or you've eaten something, it's not agreeing with your stomach, you have an upset stomach, nausea, this is my go-to, noni juice. Noni juice does not smell good, this does not taste good, but it relieves stomach issues in like 3 to 5 minutes. You take an ounce of this, just a little bit, every 30 minutes, and those stomach issues will pass. It's anti-parasitic, it's antibacterial. There are so many studies on noni. I think there's a lot of videos that we've done in this coaching group on noni and the benefits of noni. Miracle worker. This is always in my fridge, and it's there for a reason. My teenage daughter, even if she has an upset stomach, she'll come and get some noni juice because she knows that it relieves her stomach. Silver is another good one for if you have a stomach irritation going on. Put a teaspoon of silver in a glass of water, drink it down. Again, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, antiparasitic. So this is how you listen to your body, and then you use these things that are in my household. These are all in my household on a regular basis. This is my first aid kit, and that's how I relieve my stomach. Now, another good one for your stomach, also for headaches is magnesium. So, or sleep. If you need to sleep good, take this before. If I find that my sleep's messed up a little bit, I'll start taking magnesium every night before I go to bed. If I'm constipated, I'll start taking magnesium on a daily basis, and it usually resolves the problem. If I have a headache, and I'll take the magnesium to try to relieve that. I'll take the magnesium, I'll take the sulfur, I'll try to figure out what's causing the headache. Sometimes it's tension on the back of my neck. So if the headache's coming from the tension on the back of my neck, I'll wet a washcloth, put some peppermint oil on it, and put it back here, and it'll just cool down and relieve that tension and that where the headache's coming from. So usually you get a headache because you got inflammation, tension, and it's causing all of this to tighten up. So you got to release that. Fever as well. I don't take an Advil. I don't take Tylenol. If I have a fever, I know that my body is responding the way it needs to respond. So I'll let my fever ride. So I'll use things like this to cool it off. So I'll get the washcloth, wet it down, put some peppermint on it, put it on my head, and kind of get my fever down that way. But I'm gonna let it internally burn whatever it needs to burn out of me. Next week we're working on gut issues. So next week the whole Zoom will be on gut issues, and that's really the key to getting everything in homeostasis, is getting that gut balanced out. That's why I dedicated a whole week to that. So make sure to tune in next week for the gut issues. Mucus. So if you've got that, you got that stuff that you got something in your chest and you got to cough it up, and you just got this mucus sitting in the back of your throat, post-nasal drip, usually you know how it goes. You get the stuffy nose and then it moves down into your chest is usually how it goes. So if you can stop it from ever getting into your chest, great. If you can't, this is a little tincture that I make. It's grapefruit rinds, orange rinds, lemon rinds, and you boil them in water, and then you let it sit there. And this, it doesn't taste good. You can put honey in it to sweeten it up a little bit, but I'm telling you, you take a tablespoon of that, and it opens up those bronchial passages like no tomorrow. Like you're coughing, you take it and it clears it all up. But you can also then, on top of that, then get some peppermint, put it on your chest, like mentholate them, leave it there, and that'll keep opening up. For kids, I would put the peppermint on their back, so it's not right in their face, or they're not touching it and then putting it in their eyes. That would be really bad. Also, this is the brand. This is ginger beer, but I don't have any quinine. But they sell quinine. Fevertree has quinine. It's tonic water with natural quinine. That's also really good for opening up your bronchial passages as well, if you've got some chest congestion. Headaches. Headaches are usually caused from dehydration. So the first thing I get is when I get a headache, man, I am down in water. Even coconut water, you might need a little bit of sugar in your water. I don't eat that much sugar. So sometimes I feel like I need some coconut water, where I need some sugar, some electrolytes to balance out. So my first step with a headache is hydration. You can take peppermint. Sometimes it helps me if I put peppermint on my thumb and then put it on the roof of my mouth and hold it there for a few minutes, and then that can help me relieve the headache. Sometimes the washcloth, if it's a tension headache and I need it back here, that helps. And then sometimes if it's just a headache from stress or overthinking things, or just like you need your body to calm down a little bit, I will use, where's that Energize? I have Energize, which is like a pre-workout, and then I have this Adapt. So both of these products have a ton of adaptogenic herbs in them, which help your body regulate your cortisol levels. So if my headache is brought on by not sleeping very well, are thinking about too many things or stressed about a deadline or something like that, I know that this is probably the better way to fight that, is through getting my body to calm down. Also grounding, going outside, sitting in the sun, bare feet, with your feet on the earth. I did see a video about this week, which was really cool. I knew the benefits of grounding because of the frequency of the earth and the sunlight is a way of rebalancing and grounding your whole body. But what I didn't realize, that there was a study that was done with red blood cells, and they actually had the cells before and after grounding, and they found that grounding was oxygenating your red blood cells, and it was actually letting them separate. When your red blood cells clump together, it's not good for your blood. So you need healthy red blood cells that don't clump together and are, you know, viscous and flowy and not clumpy, right? So grounding is another way to get your body back into homeostasis. Another way that when I do get a tension headache, I stretch. I have a foam roller that I stretch and I roll around on. I have a ball that I can get back in there and get some of the knots out. I have a bar that hangs in the door frame that I'll just hang from and try to stretch out all of my neck and my back muscles. As we get older, that's the thing. That's the key thing that I found, that you have to keep stretching and stretching and stretching to keep moving your body. If you want your body to be flexible and be able to move and support, you have to work those muscles, not only by lifting and strengthening them, but you also have to, you know, work on your range of motion and your flexibility and stretching out those joints as well. So, but that's all about balance, right? It's homeostasis. So all of these, my first aid kit that I have, this all stays in my house, and this is what I've been able to teach my kids on how to cut something off when they start feeling bad. And that's the other point. You have to be able to recognize what's going on with your body and figure it out and fix it immediately. There's no hesitation. Like, oh, I'm feeling this way. Let me start that silver. Let me do that. Like, I'm getting a headache. Let me down some water. Do not wait to treat what you're going through until it gets out of hand. That is a key. And then also with holistic health, you know, we're programmed, oh, take a Tylenol every 3 to 4 hours, right? That's not how it is with holistic health. If you have a really bad sore throat and I need to get that inflammation down, I might spray 5 sprays in my mouth on the hour, every 30 minutes. It depends. You have to go by how you're feeling and how your symptoms. All of this stuff is natural. So your body's going to take what it needs and get rid of the rest. It's not going to hold on, and it's not going to be any kind of detrimental thing for you. So if you guys have any questions, make sure that you comment on this video below. I'd be happy to answer the questions. I will see you guys next Thursday at 7 o'clock live. I will post it in the group, and it will be all about gut health. If you have any topics that you want me to hit on for next week, I'm going to make sure that Lori can be on there too, because she spent 18 years in internal med, so she's an expert at the gut, right? If you have any questions on gut health, Crohn's, IBS, constipation, diverticulitis, anything like that, all the terms that people are, you know, using to tell you that you have some issue with your leaky gut, make sure that you email me. Either ask it on the bottom here, make a comment on the bottom here and ask your question, and we'll answer it on next Thursday, or email me and we can make sure that we include those topics in what you guys are looking for in reference to gut health. You guys have a great day, and I will have fun tonight. Bye.